Good day, everyone. This is Polly Needles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody.
Hello there, Drac. How are things going over in Barovia?
2 words, whiskey sour.
Things are going sour over there.
Not going sour, we're drinking whiskey sours.
Drinking whiskey sours. All right. I don't know all that much about drinking stuff, so.
Well, of course you don't. You know, with the way the show is going so far, we've had to do this twice now to get it to work. When we first started, and you couldn't hear me, I couldn't hear you, and then we had issues with Discord cut. And so I'm going to take a drink, and we're going to try to get this podcast done.
And we'll just hope you stay sober all the way through.
That I cannot guarantee you, but we'll see.
Let's then move on to what's in the game news, and we'll begin with Wayfinder, where there was a server data issue on August 6, 2020, where they had to roll back the server a few weeks, which meant that if you did anything during that time between their last checkpoint and when they performed the rollover, you're going to have to do it again.
You are. Oh, this is horrible. Yeah, this is all related to the server work that they're doing. All of the server data updates and everything they're doing. There was some weird issue with Wayfinder. It only affected Wayfinder, but go ahead.
I got the impression that they had started work on Wayfinder when all the issues started, so they had to stop in the middle of it.
Yes,
and resume later.
That's what Cordovan said. Yeah, because actually Wayfinder went down again today to do the original work that was supposed to be done. So yeah, something was weird with Wayfinder. Severlin, the executive producer, did post on the forum. This was posted on August the 6th. So we did have a show last week, so that's why we're just talking about this now. Wayfinder experienced a significant issue during our data center work today. Once again, this was on August 6th. That caused character data to be corrupted going back to the morning hours Eastern time of July 15th. So that's like 3 weeks. In order to correct the issue, we have had to roll Wayfinder back to about 7:30 a.m. Eastern on July 15th. That means that all character progress made since July 15th has been lost and it is not able to be restored. He did go on to say they are working on a way to capture and refund any points spent on characters, yada, yada, yada. We'll talk about that in a second. That work is actually done now. He ends it with saying, "We deeply apologize to players on Wayfinder for this issue. We will be announcing make good gifts for affected players in the coming days. This is the first time in the game's history we have had to do this kind of rollback, and we intend to make sure to take steps to prevent a similar situation from happening again in the future."
I'm sure they will.
So yes, if you have a character on Wayfinder, you were affected by this, and you already know you were affected by this, but as Pine Leaf kind of hinted at, anything within that 3-week period is just gone. So if you finally got that epic loot to drop that you were trying to get to drop for your whole lifetime of playing DDO, and you got it within that 3 weeks, it sucks to be you because that's gone. I'm so sorry to say that's gone. Yeah. None of that's recoverable.
Yeah, that is probably the single worst case scenario is if you had a very, very rare drop happen during that time frame.
Like if you finally got your Gibbers blade, oh my God, I feel your pain right now. Because, oh my God, yeah. So, they are trying to make good on this, though. Cordovan did post over on the forums that they have enabled some event-related bonuses on Wayfinder only. Once again, these bonuses are only on Wayfinder, and that's to help players get what they want following the server rollback. The following bonuses are available, once again, on Wayfinder only, and these are going to run through August the 23rd. You are going to get 200% heroic and epic XP. That is freaking amazing. 200%.
Wee.
100% Kenneth Crafting XP, 100% Challenge Reward Boost, 50% Reaper XP, 50% Guild Renown, plus 10 Treasure Hunters Boost, and a plus 10 VIP bonus. Also, double Mysterious Remnants, which, of course, is twice the chance for a remnant to appear when you defeat a champion. And then just today, on August the 12th, Cordovan did update. Hello all, I wanted to update you on several efforts related to the recent rollback on Wayfinder. They have now refunded all DDO points purchases that were made on Wayfinder between 5 a.m. Eastern on July 13th through 2:24 p.m. Eastern on August 6th. So anything you spent DDO points on between that time frame, you have been refunded. Your point totals now reflect your refund. And if you want to confirm that, you can go into your transaction history in the DDO store, and you're going to see a point grant with the note Wayfinder refund. Also, any VIP subscribers who did log into a character on Wayfinder between 5 a.m. Eastern, July 13th, and 2:24 p.m. Eastern, August 6th, you are going to get a 30-day extension on your VIP subscription. This can be confirmed by logging into myaccount.standingstonegames.com, and you're going to see that you have an extra 30 days from what you should. He did say, note, if you were a VIP subscriber during the above time frame, but you since had your subscription end, they are working on a way to grant you 30 days of game time to kind of give you 30 days more of VIP, even though you're not VIP anymore. They're working on that. I guess it's kind of complicated for them, but they're going to figure out how to do it.
Actually, they did manage to take care of that today.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
And then he also says, work is being done to grant the following items to all characters who were created on Wayfinder prior to the 5 a.m. Eastern Wednesday, July 15th time frame. So if you created a character on Wayfinder before July 15th, next time you log in, well, when this goes live, they haven't actually got this live yet, but they are going to give, and this is per character, keep that in mind, 1 heroic XP stone that is going to grant 2 million experience when consumed. You're going to get 1 epic XP stone that's going to grant 2 million experience when consumed. Once again, bound to character. You're also going to get 50 greater elixirs of discovery. These items are going to be automatically granted in-game in the near future. They are going to announce when that distribution will take place. Then he did go on to say, if you need any further assistance, you can contact customer support at help.standingstonegames.com/request/nude. I will put a link in the show notes for that. So if you have any questions for customer service, but sounds like they're giving us, they at least gave you your points back if you bought anything. The XP stones that we're getting are going to be really nice. And that
now this wee bit is, I doubt I have a character on Wayfinder, so
I don't know. I was going to ask, do you have anybody on Wayfinder? I have quite a few people on Wayfinder, so I'm kind of excited about this.
Actually, there's a possibility I might have 1 or 2 very old characters on there. I guess I should check to see just in case.
Well, there you go. You got a lot of XP going to be setting in your bag pretty soon then.
All right. Well, I'll have to check to see if that's the case. Now, I noticed they've also announced that they will be redoing the last 2 weeks of the summer sales, because you have all these people, Wayfinder, who might have bought something during the end of the summer sales, and of course, those things
when
disappeared.
When stuff was like 75% off or 50% off, you got your points back, but hey, that's not on sale anymore. So
right. Well,
I didn't even think about that. That's good that they're
they will be bringing that back. So expect that when they announce the sales for this weekend, that it'll also include a reprise of the last 2 weeks of the summer sales.
Excellent. Well, I hope whatever issue this caused, They do know what it was, and this won't happen again. Because wow, this is horrible. This really, really, really sucks bad.
Yes, I think part of the issue, of course, is because you had all the server work going on. You had all the, of course, that big infrastructure thing, and all these things happening at the same time, and it looks like they did not get the number of backups. I have a feeling they try to back up the worlds more often than
Oh, I would hope so.
than once every 3 weeks. But apparently, because of this, Wayfinder had not been backed up for 3 weeks because of all the things that were going on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I cringe when I think about this.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, it's horrible. So yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, I mean, not that it does anything for people on Wayfinder, but luckily it was just on one server. I guess there's that little small glint of hope, or I guess not hope's not the right word, but a glint of refreshing light is, hey, it only happened to one server, but man, this sucks.
Yeah. Let's now head into the DDO Chronicle, issue 391, and I'm trying to figure out what in the world is going on here.
We have an airship, and we have an Archon, and we have a fiery doorway, but don't ask me where this is at. I mean, it's a cool header, but I'll be damned if I know where this header's from, but cool header nonetheless. So if you know where the Chronicle header is, podcast at ddoplayers.com. Let us know, because I've been looking at this for like about 5 minutes trying to where is this at? So anyway, cool header. I almost said screenshot. It's not the screenshot. It's just the Chronicle header. We have some community spotlights. The Orion, however you want to say it, Discord, they are celebrating 1 year, and they're doing it with a raffle. If you want to know more about that, click over the link in the Chronicle, and you can get information on what is going on with the Orion Discord.
That reminds me of another thing that Cordovan said today.
Okay.
That according to Baker, the proper way to announce these names is however you feel like pronouncing it.
Exactly. You gotta love Keith Baker. How do you pronounce it? I don't know. Pronounce it however you want to pronounce it, yeah. That sounds like something Keith Baker would say, actually. So yeah, that's one I always say Orion. Sometimes I say Orion. I've heard it both ways. I don't know. Like you said, say it how you want. We have our fan site news section in the Chronicle. We could have been a Gen Con, but instead we recorded a podcast, apparently.
Oh, well.
DDO Cast is continuing their discussion on gearing up. Also, don't forget about DDO Stream. It's your first stop to find DDO over on Twitch. D&D Night goes into the unknown. Of course, that is tabletop on DDO Stream. That happens every Sunday night. Every 2 weeks or so, you can find me on that, because I play in a couple different D&D night shows. Sig Trent is uncovering the truth about the Festival Jester. Ooh, the truth. It finally comes out. And Brock and Friends gets echoey. Oh, Brock and Friends. Also over on Twitch, but not on DDO Stream, Miss Serenity. Let's try that again.
Miss Serenity?
Miss Serenity? Sure, why not? Stays alive on an arty. The Dark Crusader streams on, once again, Orion, however you want to say it. And Hark returns. Or Hark. However, you want to say that as well, too. See? It's great. You just say this stuff how you want to say it, and then you're not wrong, because it's like, hey, that's how I say it. Then over on YouTube, some dude named Pineleaf Needles is playing an alchemist.
Ooh, how about that?
No idea who he is and what he's playing an alchemist for, but I don't know. Apparently he's doing it over on YouTube. Who knows? Voodoo Spice. Yeah, I was happy to see you in the Chronicle, actually.
Yeah, it's been a while, I think.
It has. It has. Voodoo Spice gives a tutorial on Inferno of the Damned, and Cam Dragon is recording a world first on Too Hot to Handle. Don't forget the Hardcore Season 3 Saving Grace is continuing. That is happening through September the 22nd. VIPs are going to see their time extended by 2 days, and they're going to receive 150 DDO points as well. They are going to announce when that work is complete. We do have our Chronicle comment as well. Which character enhancements would be best if they applied in a food fight?
Character enhance. I would actually have to remember all the character enhancements in order to have any hope of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of character enhancements.
If there's one called Slippery, it would probably be nice, so that all that food just slips off of you.
Yeah, I can't. Oh God, I was trying to think of something. I can't think off the top of my head what would be something good for that. Maybe like falconry, because that's a universal enhancement, so anybody can take that. You could have your bird come in and like just as something was going to hit you, your bird would come in and snatch it out of the air and you wouldn't get hit. Sure, I'll go with that.
Okay.
It's all I got for off the top of my head. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at the screenshot of the week, which that's easy to do because all we have to do is look at it. UT declares himself the captain of the ship in the 474th DDO screenshot of the week. Thanks to UT for sending that screenshot in. If you would like to send your screenshot to maybe get it in the Chronicle, you too can do that. All you got to do is send your screenshot to contact@standingstonegames.com with the subject line DDO screenshot of the week.
All right, then let's see what's coming in from the dungeon. Where the Masters of the Universe role-playing game. The Masters of the Universe from Legends of Grayskull, the Masters of the Universe.
You sound confused, Pinely.
I guess I don't know too much about the Masters of the Universe.
What? Actually, no, nobody, if you've listened to this podcast at all over the years we've done this podcast, you are not shocked at what Pineleaf just said. So we're just going to move on from that and say, heck yeah, the Masters of the Universe role-playing game. It's called Legends of Grayskull. It is from Fandom Incorporated. It's under license from Mattel, of course. They just teased this. We don't really know much about it yet other than it's going to be played under their Cortex RPG engine. They did say players can create characters to explore the realms of Eternia. The game is set to feature a multifaceted approach in role-playing. It's going to utilize a core role-playing game, a digital companion and toolset app, a community content creation app, and sharing platform, and also an organized play program. They did say the goal of the organized play program is to give the MOTU RPG fans a chance to connect and build their story in Eternia. And that is really all we know. Don't even know when it's going to come out. I assume sometimes in 2021, but there was no release date and no MSRP. Stay tuned for more information. I did reach out to them to see if there was anything else they would tell me about it, and I have not heard back from them yet. But this is pretty freaking amazing if you're into Masters of the Universe, which, besides Pineleaf, who isn't into Masters of the Universe? Pineleaf was standing. This is awesome news.
Let's then head into D&D Icons of the Realms, the Curse of Strahd Premium Box Sets. Now, I'm sure that you are eyeing these to see if they are as premium as they claim to be.
I may or may have not already pre-ordered these.
Well,
I will neither confirm nor deny such pre-order has taken place.
Right, so we would have to check your wallet to see what.
Exactly. RIP credit card. Covens and Covenants and Legends of Barovia are the two box sets that are going to hit retail in October. These are miniature sets from WizKids, of course, and they are tie-in to the Curse of Strahd revamped, which we talked about last episode. The Covens and Covenants premium box set is going to showcase the citizens that have made Covens in his name are created a covenant with him. This box set is going to contain pre-painted miniatures of Morgareth, Bella Sunbane, Offswickla Wormwiggle, say that a couple times fast, the Abbot, Viscella, and Thorn and Rose. And if you're watching the YouTube version of this, you're seeing a picture of this on the screen now. If you listen to the podcast episode, go over, click the link in the show notes, and you can see this over on the site. And then, of course, we have the Legends of Barovia premium box set. This is featuring some of the legendary heroes and villains found in Barovia. The set comes pre-painted with miniatures of Strahd von Zorovich, Madame Ava, Rudolph van der Richten, Esmeralda, Pidwick II, Baba the Saga, and a mongrel folk. And I have to admit, from the pictures of these, they look pretty freaking awesome, but we'll find out. You can look when these do release, which there is no exact release date for them yet. They're going to retail for $39.99. I didn't pay $39.99 for them, but okay. That's the MSRP. I pre-ordered them from Miniature Market. I forgot they were actually pretty darn cheap, really. I was excited to see the price they had for it, but now I can't remember. I think they were like $25 or something like that. But anyway,
okay.
Look for an unboxing of these when I get them because these are awesome. I'm excited about this.
All right, then let's go from the dungeon and on to the tabletop. Where the Dwellers in Darkness figure pack is coming for the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth.
Oh, RIP credit card, RIP. This may or may not have been pre-ordered too. Once again, neither confirmed nor deny. Fantasy Flight Games has announced in October the new figure pack for Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. This is going to tie into the recently released Shadow Pass campaign expansion that just came out. FYI, unboxing of that coming soon as well. Mm-hmm. This is going to include some figures. You're going to get some new cards. And of course, there is going to be a new downloadable campaign for the app called The Haunting of Dale. Like I said, there is going to be some figures, some cards, and also in this is going to be a copy of the knife item with some upgrades. There's going to be a new trinket in the form of a silver circlet, and you're going to get 3 new tiles to use in your game as well. This is released in October. No specific date in October, but it can be pre-ordered now at your friendly local game store and lots of online places.
All right then. And I presume that you heard saw Fantasy Flight Games' little thing at the start of Gen Con.
Yeah, the in-flight report.
Yeah, the in-flight report.
Yes, I watched it.
Yes, where at the end they
teased Descent 2 or Descent whatever 3. It's going to be. I'm sorry, 3. Correct, yeah.
Yeah, Descent 3. And we're looking at this as, okay. It's like they're looks like they're planning on taking on Gloomhaven.
Yeah, from the size of that box, I think so.
The size of that box, yes. I'm sure we'll have more on that when they get around to announcing it. Now let's head on to Unmatched. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is coming this October.
My poor wallet. My poor wallet. It's just my wallet's going enough. Stop. We're done. Stop. But I'm like, but Buffy. It's Buffy. Yes, Unmatched Buffy the Vampire Slayer coming from Mondo Games and Restoration Games. This is the latest Unmatched game, going to be available in October, just in time for Halloween. The game is going to use the Unmatched system, where 2 to 4 players are going to be able to fight each other with unique decks and powers. Unmatched Buffy the Vampire Slayer features 4 heroes from the Buffyverse. Buffy's going to hit you with Mr. Pointy. Or she's gonna. You don't know what Mr. Pointy is, do you?
Mr. Pointy. It sounds like the steak she uses in
It
vampire
is.
hunting.
It is her steak. She calls him Mr. Pointy.
Mr. Pointy, because it's been a while since I saw that movie.
Yep. Or she's gonna summon her Slayer strength for a cartwheel kick. When it's time for some backup, she'll take her pick between the insightful Giles or the reliable Xander. And of course, there's going to be Spike, a relentless hunter who seeks the shadows and calls on Drusilla's sight to let him know just where you are and where to strike. Willow, a peerless witch, is going to dabble in black magic and is going to risk her darker self with dangerous magics. At times, only Terra can bring her back from the brink of the abyss. Angel, of course, once the Scourge of Europe, is cursed with a soul, conflicted by his victories, and taking solace in his losses. Of course, Faith is also going to be there just to make sure things stay 5x5. And if you're not a Buffy fan, you haven't watched the show, none of that made sense to you. But I'm just like, I'm just like, yes, shut up and take my money right now. Here's my credit card. Where do I input my numbers? Yes, I'm excited about this. So.
I guess that means we should go and check what you were doing with the games that you already have this week.
We can do that. I actually played a lot of stuff. I played a lot of tabletop this week. Didn't really do anything in DDO. Mainly did tabletop this week. I had another busy week, but played a lot of games, though, which was cool. Had a game day at my house, actually. So we did some 4-player versions of some games that I have played before. But a couple of them I wanted to see how they played with 4 players. 2 of them I did it. Actually, 3 of them I did it for upcoming reviews because I played them 2-player. So I wanted to see how much different they play at 4 players. So 4 players, we did Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion, which we've talked about several times on the show. That review should be up hopefully early next week. I'm in the process of writing that now. Also did Evil Dead 2 at 4 players. I will say Evil Dead 2 played completely different, and it was much better at 4 players than it was with 3 players the last time I played it. So I think the sweet spot to Evil Dead 2 is the 4-player version of that. And then played the new game from Bicycle Games. They sent that over for us to review. It's called the Alpha. That is it's an area control game, but you're using packs of wolves to do it. You have your table laid out. You have areas you can go to. Then you have different animals you can hunt, and you put your wolves on this area, and the person with the most wolves there actually gets the meat from that animal, which equals points. So it's very, very well done. For Bicycle, not really doing that many games yet. Spoiler alert for the review, this game was actually pretty good. Review for that coming soon as well.
And it doesn't use a regular deck of 52 cards?
It does not, no.
Okay.
No, even though Bicycle does make some really good playing cards. But yeah,
yes.
they're making some good games. So I don't know who's designing these games for them, because I've never heard of the people that, of course, I don't have my copy in front of me right now, so I unfortunately couldn't tell you the designers of this, but it was a very fun game. Then before most of my friends got over to my house, one of my friends showed up early, so we played the Goonies card game just because we got started talking about games that were impossible to win, and nope, didn't win that. Lost 2 times in a row. And then played Wakening Lair, which we have not talked about for a long time. That's from our friends over at Rather Dashing Game. That is their dungeon crawl game. That game, again, impossible to win. My friend and I did actually win it, and I'm going to put win it in air quotes. Because after we got done, I kind of was looking over the rules, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we were playing that wrong. So I think that's why we won.
Oops.
So we kind of made up a house rule, we're going to say.
The easy mode?
Yeah, we played easy mode, and we won it, but yeah. That game is extremely hard too. We did a review on that like a long time ago. So I'll put the link in the show note for that review if you don't remember what Wakening Lair is. It's been a long time since we talked about that game. And then I did play some solo board games as well. I finally got Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth out. Okay. And played it. I went through the first adventure. I like it, but I'm still getting used to it, and I need to go back and watch how to play video because I'm pretty sure I got a couple rules wrong. But
well, I guess that would be easy enough, especially if you haven't looked at it for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since I even looked at it, and I kind of read over the rules and I kind of watched a quick video, and I'm like, okay, I got this. And there was a couple points where I'm like, I don't understand how to do this. I'm just going to do it this way. I think this is right, but I like it. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, I've only went through the first adventure, but it's pretty fun.
All right, I'll have to go and redo the first adventure since it's been so long, and since I tried it a long time ago before I had table space, so of course I didn't right after that.
But the weirdest thing for me that's so much different versus it's like some other Final Fantasy, I almost said Final Fantasy, Fantasy Flight games, is there's no dice, which is weird. It's all card driven. I'm used to like Descent, or I'm used to Mansions of Madness, where it's like there's dice. With this, it's just all card driven. So that kind of threw me off at first, but I kind of got used to that. And then
you better be used to it with your next game on the list.
yeah, I was going to say, speaking of cards, played through a little bit of the first adventure of Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. Didn't get very far in it. It's still a little bit. It's sitting on my table, so I'm going to hopefully finish that this weekend, but I'm enjoying it. The greatest thing about it is this is Gloomhaven Light. So, but the box is still, it's a pretty decent sized box. Don't get me wrong, but they break the Gloomhaven rules down into chunks. You learn the rules as you go, which is really, really nice.
Yes. You're playing pretty close to the full game by the time you get to
that is what they say. Yes. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm just a wee bit into the first adventure, but enjoying the heck out of it so far. We'll see if that continues. I only have one sticker that I put on the board so far. What you do is once you do things, I don't want to spoil anything. Once you do certain things, it's going to tell you, okay, put a sticker at B3 on your map, and then that's going to open up an adventure that you can do, and then you can go back to that too if you want that. So eventually you're going to have this map that's going to have all these stickers on it, which you placed by what you did in the game. So, which I think Gloomhaven is the same way as well. Like I said,
Gloomhaven does the same thing.
As I talked about previously, I've opened up Gloomhaven and I'm like, yeah, no. So, hopefully, my goal is to I get through Jaws of the Lion. I'm going to be ready for Gloomhaven, and it's not going to be quite as intimidating. So we'll see. Then I played Marvel Champions, played that solo. I used the brand new Black Widow deck. Still got my butt kicked, but Black Widow's like my favorite character of all time, so I was excited about playing that deck of cards, so we'll see. And then played some video games. These are going to be for future reviews. These were all provided to me by the publisher for review. So the first one up is a game called Jessica. Cannot say too much about this because there is an embargo on it. They did say I could say, hey, I'm playing Jessica. It's a full motion video detective game. I'll just say that.
Hmm.
I can't unfortunately say anything else because
Well,
they were very very stringent in the embargo that I could say I could play it, but anything else would constitute a review, and that is embargoed. So
all right. Well, I can only hope that when the embargo lifts and he has reviews, probably about the time in which it'll start to be available anyway, so that it will. Because if I can't get it now anyway,
right, yeah, yeah, it should, yeah. If I remember right, I think the embargo lifts the day before it's widely available.
okay,
I think so.
that
Yeah,
sounds reasonable then.
yeah. So, and then another one I'm playing is Death Trap Dungeon. This is another full motion video game. This is based off the classic Death Trap Dungeon. If you remember that game from way back in the day, this is just a new, updated, full motion video version of it. It's okay. It's This one doesn't have an embargo, so I can talk about it.
Okay.
It's very repetitive.
Ah,
You make choices, and which is okay because it's like a full motion game, so I get that. But the problem is, after a while, it gets repetitive, and you hear the same things every time. It's like, for example, I mean, I can't remember exactly what he says, but it's like you draw your sword and you slice him in half. And then 2 minutes later, you draw your sword and you slice him in half. And it's like, okay, I get it. So it's like they could have added a little more dialogue to it, but so far it's fun. Like I said, I'm going to do a review on that. And then over on the Xbox One, I installed and created a character, but that's as far as I got. The upcoming Pathfinder Kingmaker. That is coming out this next Tuesday, actually. August 18th is when that'll be out. That's when the embargo on that one lifts too. So I can't talk much about it, but I can't talk much about it anyway because all I did is create a character.
yes.
So, but yeah, it's Pathfinder Kingmaker. It's that storyline in a video game. It's already out on the PC. It's been out for a long time. It's just brand new to Xbox One. And that was what I did. How about you?
And I'll begin with Dungeons and Dragons Online, where my alchemist, I guess this is what caused the shout out from the Chronicle, where I was playing the alchemist quite a bit. First, I ran the depths dungeons.
I
Then
love those quest and dungeons. I love that whole quest chain.
yeah,
Those are so fun.
yes, nice and quick too. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to Splinter Skull and ran the first four things: First Strike, Goblins Captives, Uruk's War Plans, and Whisper Doom's Spawn. So ran those four. After that, I had to log off, and since that put me, of course, nowhere near the place I had to go all the way back. If I want to go back, I decided, let's try the Mystery of Dolores 2. And I get into this place, and apparently this is not a good dungeon to take a solo alchemist into. I was just ripped incredibly into pieces. Is all I gotta say about that. Yeah, that was a complete disaster in there. So I said, all right, I won't do Mystery of Dolores Tomb. So I thought, oh, let's go to the necropolis. I'm not too fond of the necropolis, but maybe I could get enough experience to get to level 6. So I go and do the Tomb of the Crimson Heart, and after I finished the dungeon, and I did reach level 6, thank goodness. And what I did is I did some swapping out of my spells. And you said, why did I swap out my spells? Because I needed to equip my Cure Disease and Cure and Remove Curse spells, which I was surprised I had them. But yes, I had Remove Disease and Cure Disease and Remove Curse, and I just splashed a couple of potions on me because I had to get rid of that mummy rot. Because that's what I don't like about Dolores. I mean, not about the necropolis. It's because of that mummy rot that you get all over the place. But I was level 6, so I decided to head to House Tarasco, then ran Mara's Sleepless Nights and Red Willow's Ruins. Then over in Minecraft, I ran the start of the Minecraft Parkour Challenge for August, where I ran the first 4 episodes of that, which is about halfway through, assuming I could build the house I'm supposed to build. The object this month is to build a house complete with a number of bedrooms, living room, kitchen, a yard, and I'm supposed to take that and populate it with hostile mobs. All right. And of course, they gave us the coordinates to where we could find some name tags so that we could make sure that the hostile mobs don't disappear on us. So I started the beginning of that. I do have to do more of it to see if I could survive or if I get killed in a horrendous death sprawl. Then in RU Hardcore for August, I decided to try the August one, and this month it was a tower defense game, essentially, because we have a guy that we are supposed to defend against zombies and skeletons and the like. And I'll just say that I got about a third of the way through before things went wrong. But yes, that's what happens in RU Hardcore. One chance. Well, actually, you could do. If you get killed, you could start over again and do another run. But I decided not to do that because Mage Rage was available soon after that. I ran week one of that. And this month, are you doing things on unusual worlds? So the first week was on a floaty island world where essentially you have these little chunks of everything on all these little floating islands. And ooh boy, things can get tough to go around if you need to get to another one of those islands in there. Especially there was one point where I wanted to get some spider webs, and the best place to get it was way over there. And as soon as you get there, it hostile mobs are popping in like crazy and attacking you. Yeah, that was quite a time. Then in my own personal world, my survival world, where I am building, where I have a nether hub, which I'm building right now, and I built the floor to it and the walls. So things are starting to look nice at my nether hub in there. I still need a ceiling, but it's progress. Then for board gaming, starting with SoloCon, where I finished up the shorty SoloCon with playing La Belle Lucie, which is my favorite patience game, Rolling America, and then finish it off with Friday. Then after that, the new SoloCon is called Liquid, where you're to play games that have liquid in that have some sort of presence of liquid in there, preferably something that's consumable. So I first started with One Deck Dungeon and played the Alchemist there. That sort of went with my playing the Alchemist on DDO, I guess. So my Alchemist went up against the Dragon. This is the first time I've played the Alchemist, but of course that allowed me to drink lots of potions into it. I took a few more potions than I normally do when I play One Deck Dungeon, so I had plenty of potions to consume in there. And I think this is the first time that I had a where I played a character I hadn't played before, and just whipped the dragon. I thought I was going to be torn to pieces, that maybe I could get a couple of points on progress for the campaign or something. No, I just went in there, went to the boss fight with what I thought was a relatively weak set, and just kicked that dragon in the teeth. So that was great. In fact, I don't think I took a single point of damage in that boss fight. Then in after that, I played the Dresden Files, where so what does that to do with liquids? Well, I made sure that I had a beer at max and took a speed potion at one point in there. So little things so it could fit within the theme. Next after that, Petrichor. Now this is the first time I played Petrichor. Now in Petrichor, you control clouds which create rain. So of course the liquid is the rain that is being consumed by the plants. After that, then I went into and played another game that I played for the first time. Now, Forbidden Desert, I've had in my collection, I think, for a couple of years. I just haven't gotten around to play it. And this was my first time playing, as I said before. And of course, the water connection is that water is life in that game. Because if you run out of water and you're not able to drink when you need to drink, you die and the game is over. So you got to make sure that you keep good on your water. Now, things are really, really tight on this one. I got all the pieces together and I was converging onto the spot. I had one character that already reached the destination so that we could lift off. I was one square away from it. So all I had to do was survive this one last draw of the opponent, and then I'll be able to go in, have my victory, and fly off. And yes, the too many pieces of the wind blew so much that I died just off safety. I guess that happens a lot in Forbidden Desert. I don't know if you've ever played that before.
It's been a long, long time since I played it.
Yeah. So I have a feeling that's something that probably happens a lot.
Yeah, I said it's been ages since I played that game.
Right. And next after that, I played 11s for 1, which is, of course, all about preparing after, no, actually, late morning tea it is, not afternoon tea. It's late morning tea, since it's 11s. Then finally, I decided to finish off that little series with the first 5 scenarios of Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion.
So what do you think so far? You're way more into it than I am, but
Well, I got through 5 scenarios. What do you think?
right, like I said, I just started scenario 1. I'm
Yeah.
maybe one turn into scenario 1, maybe. So
Right. So I'm liking it so far. And in fact, after scenario 5, I decided to put it away so that I could play Rallyman GT for the August challenge, which this month we're doing a sprint series. And keeping from spinning out is quite a thing in there. On 3 of them, I had decent times, but certainly not, I don't think, very competitive times. So on the 4th one, I said, all right, I've got 6 dice here. Why don't I roll them all at once and go flat out here, maybe get some focus so that I'll be able to really get through and get a really great time on the 4th leg there, and spun out.
oh
Okay.
geez,
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Drac Luck, for striking at that time.
yeah, exactly.
So that didn't work out very well. And I also played Card Capture with the other game there. After I finished playing Rallyman GT, though, I decided to bring out Jaws of the Lion again, and I've set up for scenario 6 so I could continue on with the campaign. And this would be the first one which isn't part of the step-by-step introduction into it. So now we're getting into the more serious parts of the campaign. Then for tabletop apps, I did play one dungeon from the Gloomhaven app as that's working on. And there I ran a quest to save a village that was being invaded by forest imps. And yeah, I see that forest imps can be a little bit annoying in there. So I know what to look forward to when I reach. There aren't any forest imps in Jaws of the Lion, but of course they do exist in regular Gloomhaven, because after I finish Jaws of the Lion, I may be pulling out Gloomhaven since I have a better idea how to play that game now.
Yeah, that was my goal with Jaws of the Lions too. So
Yes, Jaws of the Lion, they say that there are 17 main scenarios and 8 side scenarios for a total of 25 there, and it's possible to have some scenarios that, and they make it sound like there's some of them which are going to be either or. So the full campaign won't be 17, but I may be playing a few extras if I play some of the side ones, depending on how many of those you unlock. But that's it for what I did this week. We currently have 14 supporters on Patreon, and if you would like to help support video players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money will be used in our podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. If you would prefer to donate directly to us without joining Patreon, you could contact Drac at track@ddoplayers.com. And we actually have a featured comment from Barnabas. What does he say?
he says, since DDO opened up its regions over the summer, which I assume he's talking about the free DDO code that unlocks everything, I'm guessing. He said he started playing DDO, and he just did the catacombs on a bard. When the undead rise, as Pineleaf describes, the message is to escape. I took escape as run, and I left the dungeon. Smart man.
Yeah. Yes, that's right, because that is a little bit of a problem with those rise, since they all rise at once.
Yeah, you talked about that last week, so yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
If I knew that that's what they'll be doing, I would probably have followed that advice myself.
So his advice is take the word escape as run.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. If you would like to send us a comment through the email, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You could also Twitter, the Players Alliance at Players Ally, DDO Players at DDO Players, Dracula at Dracula_72, and Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles. And you can follow Drac on Twitch at Dracula_72, though I don't know when's the last time you actually did anything on Twitch.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Coming soon, trademark.
Coming soon. The Players Alliance has 3 shows. On Mondays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News. On Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Lojo Players News. And if you wish to follow XP Quest, then follow their Twitter at XP Quest. So to find out when their shows go live. But just remember that XP Quest is not Pineleaf friendly. You can join us for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to socialize responsibly.